How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are back with a new branded list, and this time it's the Dragoon build. I've been testing this out throughout the entire weekend, basically, mainly against Castria, because this is what I feel is going to be the biggest challenge for this deck, and this is based off of a few of the latest winners YCS lists. And it's doing really well. I wanted to share with you my ratios and the way I view this build. And overall, I think this build is super fun and Dragoon is kind of amazing. But before we begin, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new as always. And of course, Despia merch is already out, galzo.shop, link in the description below. Check it out if you want to purchase one for yourselves and support the channel. Let's dive right into it. If you want 5% off any single or sealed product, head over to tier0games.com and use code GALZO5 at checkout. We've seen Dragoon come back during the latest YCS. And why is Dragoon back? Because Castria needs to target everything. Everything Castria does targets, and basically, if you put up a Dragoon on the field and use its negate once, get it up to 4,000 attack, Castria can't really break through that. So I think this was the innovation, the last YCS, because it's really easy to summon. And let me show you my build. So of course we're playing the 3 Aluber. This is a very tight build that has maximum, it has a lot of interruptions and going second cards, but the engine itself is really slim, I would say. We have 2 Fallen of Albaz because you only need 1 technically. I'm playing 2 Mercurier, and honestly I'm thinking about cutting this to 1. Right now it's nice when you open this and you already have it in your hand, but honestly it could be even a brick sometimes with this build because we're not playing as much Bestials anymore. Playing the 1 Cartesia, I still feel like that's okay, and this is why I'm also playing Fusion Deployment, because it's really good for consistency, but I still don't see a reason why to play 2. Maybe if you already drew the Cartesia, then your Fusion Deployments are dead, but they're not entirely dead because you have the Albaz. Then for the 1-ofs, we have Albion, which is amazing in this deck, just amazing utility. We have 1 kit. I really like having this extra kit for the extra push, and specifically for returning cards from the graveyard or banished, returning the Retribution, the in red. It's really good for that. And of course, we are running Sprint, so you can actually summon this during the end phase. 1 Tragedy, 1 Adlib. It's really important to have these 2. Specifically at 1, I think is fine. And then we have 1 Lubellion, 1 Serenir. I'm sad about this ratio. I might add another Magnamut here because it happens when you open 2 of them and you really don't have anything to do with both of them. But maybe you add another Magnamut so you can get a Search, maybe replace it with a Mercurier. And unfortunately, I would like to play more, but I honestly don't see a reason why to play more. Maybe it really depends on your local scene and the tournaments you go to. I might, when I have a regional soon, I might not play this exact build because maybe I'm expecting to see more mirrors, so I will actually play more, Bestials to counter those mirrors. Then we have Dark Magician, the correct artwork, by the way. And if you disagree, hit me up on Twitter. Dark Magician enables us to summon Red Eyes Dart Dragoon. We're going to get to that part in the extra deck, but of course you have to play this, and you do prefer to play this over Light Hex Sealed Fusion. And the reason why is that it's a normal monster, and if you summon it with Lubellion, you shuffle back the Dark Magician and Albaz, or Dark Magician and Lubellion itself, then Dragoon gets a pop. And it matters significantly because you end games really quickly. And I have a replay of this deck playing against Castria uploading tomorrow, so hit the notification bell to know when that comes up, and you'll see why it's so important to use a normal monster just to get that extra damage. Then we have some going second cards. We have 3 Ash, very good in the mirror, obviously. Solid versus Castria. Same thing with Nibiru. I'm kind of not... I don't know if I'm digging Nibiru so much because a lot of Castria players that I play against don't play into the Nibiru and end on the Arise Heart, which is fine, I guess. This might be dead in the hand, but their board is significantly weaker and then they don't lock you out. So maybe it's fine. Also against branded, against rogue, stuff like that. Then we have 3 branded fusion, 3 opening. I've been siding out 1 opening every game when I'm going second. Definitely siding out the opening. It's like it's a good card, but now that we have branded fusion at 3, it's still not like at its full potential. Then we have more going second cards. Book of Eclipse, really good for your stuff to resolve as well. I have a little dirt here. Book of Eclipse obviously turns down the entire Kashtir board. 2 deployment might up this to 3 for consistency, and 2 super poly might also up this to 3. I mean, if they end on a Rise Heart, you set up any card from your deck, super poly, and then they also have an Arise Heart in graveyard that you can summon with Proskinian and stuff like that. We're gonna get to that. Then we have 1 in red, 1 lost. This card is the best card in the deck. There's no doubt about it. This is the card. We have the Theater just for more consistency. If we get ashed, if you know your opponent has ash and you want to go in a different line, you don't need much for a good board in this deck. Foolish for consistency. Gold Star for consistency. We have Called by the Grave, of course. 1 Retribution. And currently I am playing 1 Beast. I did cut the Regained. You're going to say, hey, you play 2 Bestials. Why are you running Beast? So a lot of times you will have access to, if you already have a Luber and Branded Fusion in your hand, which happens a lot, right? Like if you play the deck, you know that you get to Branded Lost a lot. And the line currently is that you use Branded Fusion to send Lubellion from the graveyard. Lubellion comes back, tributes like the Albion, puts this on the field, then you fusion with Cartesia. But a lot of the times, I would say like 40% of the time, maybe even more, you already have access to this. So why not get a pop? Why not get more value against rogue decks, against back row, against Labyrinth? So this is why I'm using it, because otherwise you summon the Lubellion and it doesn't do anything on the field. Then for the extra deck, we are playing around Kashira. 2 Lubellion. I hate playing 2 Lubellion, but you have to because this is your line to Dragoon. 2 Albion, 2 Mirror Jade. I think these ratios are like fine. I'm playing 2 Dragoon because again, you definitely want this utility. So Dragoon, let me tell you a little bit about the strategy with Dragoon and how to like play Dragoon effectively. So if you win the die roll and you go first, there's no real reason to blind go into Dragoon, right? Because you don't know what you're playing against. You could be playing into Super Poly, stuff like that. You know, if your opponent has lost Albaz, they take away your Dragoon. You go for your normal line. But if you go second and you're going up, let's say against the Kashira board and you still have zones, you go Branded Fusion, you summon the Lubellion, use Albaz and Dark Magician, shuffle them back, and summon the Dragoon. Going second. You pop whatever you want. They cannot target it with any of their cards because all of their cards target. And you basically take control of the game. You negate something, you buff this up to 4,000, you just sit on this Dragoon. This is how you play Dragoon. You play this as a going second line. But, you know, if you lose the die roll, you want the Dark Magician in your deck. This could be fine, like if you have a full board and access to Dark Dragoon, then you can definitely go for an additional negate. Sometimes it will happen. So this is how I play the Dragoon. And it's been really showing. It's been really, really good. 1 Granguignol, this card is just bonkers. It's really, really good. It just does everything for this deck, and I'm really, really happy they printed it. Then we have 1 Proskinian. This is my Despia target in the extra deck right now, and I'll show you in the replay tomorrow how good this is against so many decks that I would just rather have this over Queritus at the moment, but you know, maybe I'll change my mind. Mud Dragon for the Super Poly. It's really good to also like, I went for Super Poly with my Tragedy and their Arise Heart, and I put up Mud Dragon and just called Dark. And again, Kashira, all of their things target. You're just Gucci, like all of your monsters are Dragoons, basically. So this is a really good utility to play, even with like, you know, instant fusion, to be honest. If you can afford it, then definitely. Dragoon, Chimera, Rindbrum, and then Sprint. If you don't know why we play this, is because of Contact C. This is Fallen of Albaz plus 1 effect monster special summon this turn. So essentially what would happen is that you normal summon the Aluber, search for Branded Fusion, they hit you with a Contact C on the normal summon. Then if you want a Branded Fusion, you have to go for this. This is your only option. And this also summons Kit in the end phase, so you can search something else. It's really good. It's really nice. It pops cards. And yeah, this is the extra deck. I do want to show you the side deck as well before I end the video. And I've been really liking the side deck and the siding patterns. I'm playing 2 Thrust. I'm actually playing 3 Kaijus instead of like Sphere Mode and Lava Golem. It should be the Dark Kaiju, but I just don't know where my copies are, so you can play the Gamma Seal as well. It doesn't really matter. The Dark Kaiju or the Light Kaiju let you fuse with the Fallen of Albaz, but just play whatever you have, basically. So, the Kaiju is really, really good, because in this format, you will see boards ending on like a Rise Hard Pass to play around everything. You will see 1 Labyrinth boss monster, 1 Dragoon in the mirror match. You just slap a Kaiju on it. It's so, so good. I've been really, really enjoying the Kaijus. Not having to gamble and like play Lava Golem, stuff like that. You just take out the biggest threat, you just out it immediately. I'm playing 1 D Barrier for Crossout, and then I'm playing 1 Expulsion, 1 Gimmick Puppet. If you go first and you side this in, I'm not playing this in the main. It's super, super consistent. You make this, even with 2 Bestials in your deck, you make this 90% of the time with any hand. It's an auto win. I hate it, but it's an FTK. If you go first, if I lost game 1, I'm putting this in and I win game 2 100%. I'm playing 3 Crossout, playing Ash in the main and Beery in the main. This card really carries, especially with D-Barrier. This is your only out. There's no red reboot anymore. You have to play this. 1 Duster and 3 Evenly Matched. You can search, like, when you put in the Thrust, it helps you search for a lot of things in the deck. Going first, it allows you to set D-Barrier or Expulsion to save you a search. Going second gets you to the Duster and the Evenly Matched. So I feel like this is super, super balanced. I'm not really missing the quick play removal like Cosmic and Twin, because even if I go up against Labyrinth, it really doesn't actually matter if I open them, to be honest. So yeah, this is the main extra side. I'm really enjoying this build. I'm not sure if I will actually be playing this in the upcoming regional season, but it really slaps on Kashira at the moment. Tune in tomorrow for the video on how to play against Kashira with almost this build specifically. It really slaps. Dragoon is beautiful. I like it. I really love it. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with this build. What are you playing right now in your banded build? Leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. As always, get your Despian merch at galzo.shop. Link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.